Hello people of YouTube, my name is Brad, this is my channel Animate Orange, and welcome to another Metal Earth build video. Today we're going to get started on the Deadpool Metal Earth model. And despite its size, fairly tall for a Metal Earth model, it is not Iconics or Premium Series. This is just plain old Metal Earth. It does have 3 full-size sheets and a half sheet, so there's a lot of parts to it. Comes together pretty big, as you can see here, but we got to get started building it. So let's go to the table, open up the packaging, see what's inside, and get to work on this colorful, awesome model. Alright, we have the colorful looking Deadpool model in the standard Metal Earth packaging. I'm still a little bit amazed that this isn't an Iconics model, but here we go. It's really thick. Let's see what's all in here. Stuffed into this. There's more. There's a little partial sheet. We've got one, oh look, there's the unicorn. 1, 2 two metal sheets, the instructions, and then 2 more metal sheets. These are put on the other side of the instructions to protect them and are back to back. So I've always really appreciated the way Metal Earth packages their stuff. We have 3 full-size metal sheets, one looks like half-sized, or maybe, yeah, more or less half-sized metal sheet. Gonna put these over to the side for a moment and open up the instructions and try to talk briefly about them, just in case anyone watching this video that's still fairly new to building these models. I'm gonna grab the sheet that has the Metal Earth logo. That's always page 1. Open it all the way up so we can see what's going on. Try to fit this on camera. On page 1, we've got the Metal Earth logo. We've got line drawing of Deadpool in one of the sheets. Got the 360 views QR code or the website you can type directly in. This will take you to 360 view of the completed model for reference sake if you need to look at it. Below that we have the metal sheets. Sheet A, B, C, and D. The sheets are lettered, the parts are numbered. I like that they now number or letter the sheets and tell you which sheet the part is on. It helps you find stuff quicker, though I will say you'll notice some of these parts are colored in. I'm going to grab one of the metal sheets. Which one did I grab here? It looks like I grabbed sheet A, try to orient it the same way, put it beside it. You'll notice the coloring is not the same as what's on here. It's very different coloring. The purpose of coloring this is to indicate duplicate parts, because we have a lot of times with these models you have the same shaped part used in multiple places, and this is definitely the same case. A little bit of a time jump there if you haven't noticed. There's a train track not far from my house and sometimes the horn interrupts. But anyway, so the reason they color some of these parts in the same parts, the parts that are the same color are duplicate parts. They'll label 1, like 5. This green roundish part is labeled 5. This is also part 5 up here. You might even find part 5 in other sheets. Doesn't look like the case here. But we have this part here, which isn't even numbered. It's also down here where it's numbered. It's also here. It's also over here. It's also over here. So this gets used quite a bit. Duplicate parts, they color them in the same colors. It makes it a lot easier to find those parts. It looks like they've even gone to the point of double coloring this part and this part to help differentiate them. And as someone who has a little bit of difficulty differentiating shades, I greatly appreciate that. That's fantastic in the first time that I've seen it. But the fact that they color these in makes those duplicate parts a lot easier to find. Used to, you had to kind of hunt and peck, try to figure out which ones were the same. No more. Makes it quicker, and it also reduces the amount of numbering around here to make it less cluttered. But moving on to page 2, we have sort of a legend up here. We have a sample part with a notation on insertion tabs, insertion holes, and fold lines. Tabs go into the different insertion holes. That's how all this is held together. Fold lines or pre-scored areas where the part is bent or folded or shaped or curved. It just helps in shaping it. Over here we have the legend, which the E and NE are trying to get you to know which way to face the part. E is whatever it's pointing at is the engraved or colored side or section. NE is the non-engraved colored side or section, or silver side or section. If we even have silver, we have sort of a silver side here. This is, when you see this, it's just trying to tell you which way to hold the part or orient the part before you start bending and folding. A lot of times it's the entire side is the engraved side or non-engraved side, but occasionally, I don't know if that's the case in this model, occasionally you'll run into a section that's engraved on either side and it's only pointing at that section. And you can also, maybe not so much with this, but with the silver ones, used to run into problems with telling fold lines from engraving. But that shouldn't be a problem here. You have a attention point, little hand with a finger. That's usually alignment issues, just making sure that you pay attention to a way something is aligned when you put two parts together, though it can be other things. Sometimes it's explained, sometimes it's not. I actually see possible explanation down here. We have the blue circle and green triangle. The blue circle means to insert a tab folded over 90 degrees for a cleaner look. The green triangle means to insert a tab and twist it to 90 degrees. It's a tighter connection, but not as clean. You'll usually find twisted tabs inside the part, folded outside. That's not always the case. Tools, recommended tools. We're going to talk about tools here in just a moment, so I'm going to skip that. Go down here to the assembly steps with step 1. And this is actually laid out like in Iconics because it has steps, whereas the Metal Earth models usually don't, but maybe they're making a change. Assembly steps, step 1, Iconics, I should say, Premium Series now. Anyway, assembly steps, step 1, we've got part 1 on sheet B. Here's the part. It gets curved in this fashion, and it doesn't say to connect it yet because we have B here, which is shaped like this, or excuse me, part 2 on sheet B, shaped like this, or looks like this, is shaped like this. The arrows, blue lines, kind of help show you how to shape it. It's like the top of a foot. And then it comes down here and connects to part 1 with folded tabs. And then this piece over here on the side gets folded over, or connected and folded here. Part 3 gets added on the engraved side or colored side facing up. Here's part 3 on sheet 3, showing it adds here. Then you slide over here, we've got part 4, C, on sheet C. There's the part curved like this, connected, the ends are connected with a folded tab, comes down here, added on with twisted tabs. Those are on the inside. So following with that thought, come over here, we've got 5 on sheet A. It comes over, the non-engraved side is facing up. It gets connected with twisted tabs. We have part 6 on sheet A, which gets curved and added on top. Actually gets curved. Here's how it gets curved. The engraved side is facing up, comes down here, gets added on top with twisted tabs. You end up with that. And that is a lot of information for just the first step. This is a lot more of a crowded build, but we've got, as you can see, sort of sub-assemblies on top of the assemblies. Like this is being partially assembled. This is being curved and partially assembled. I call these little boxes sub-assemblies. So you'll have the main thing, you'll have the sub-assemblies. We missed the tip here. Tip, the red parts in the front side. The red part is in the front side. So, you know, this hand is an attention point. I think these go together, and that's an alignment issue, making sure you align something the right way. And that's usually what that's used for. But anyway, you go down to step 2, you continue on, same process, clipping out the parts, folding and shaping them, add them together. Step 3, continue going. You notice here step 2 is brought back and added in right here to get that. You'll sometimes find steps being called back. You get to the bottom, of course you flip over for page 3, follow through, page 4, follow through. Then you grab the next piece of paper, open it up, find page 5, and continue on. Page 6, page 7, page 8. Once you get to the bottom of page 8, you'll be done with your model. Let's take a moment to talk about some tools, and I've got what I consider the basic set in front of me, starting with a pair of flush clippers or side clippers. These are primarily used to cut the parts out of the sheets. You can get the parts out by folding and twisting, though you run the risk of breaking something you didn't mean to break. A good pointed set of side cutters or flush cutters, like this Play-Doh set that I've got here, work really great for quickly getting the parts out so you can get on with your build. I have, of course, a small selection of tweezers. We've got a fairly basic set. This actually came with one of the older Iconics sets, and I've been using it for quite a while. But a good sturdy flat end tweezers can come in really handy for doing a great number of things. I also have a few pieces from a precision set of tweezers. If you need some precision tweezers, just search precision tweezers online. You'll be able to find something out there. These two are very similar. They have a very fine point, though I did grind the tip of these down to help me grab tabs, and then this is just kind of a flat set for getting in tight spaces. And then we have a couple of pieces left over from the Fascinations 3-piece set. I broke the clippers long ago, so I had to replace them, but we have long nose pliers and flat nose pliers. Really handy. These are handy for bending long parts, and these are handy for bending short sections right here. But this is the basic set. We'll do a great amount of things with just this set right here. You'll be able to build a lot of different models and do a lot of different things. When it comes to shaping curved, domed, or rounded kind of parts, I like to have some sort of tool to mold things around, and I've designed some 3D printable tools for use in that. You might see me using the video. I've got some cone shaping tools. I have a little block here for rounding stuff. I have larger cone shape combo tools, and even a little tool for shaping dome shapes. However, you can just look around the house and find parts, dowel rods, pencils, beads, paint brushes, pens, things like that can also be used to shape stuff as well. Talked a little bit about tools. I've got a basic set of tools here at the ready. I've got my sheets over here. I'm gonna organize things in a way that works for me. You organize things in a way that works for you, and after a brief pause, we'll get started with this build.
1 foot down, just need to clean up some tabs. Don't forget to bend the 2 tabs out. I poked them from the back side and then bent them from the front side. I got a little ahead of myself there. I had some difficulty getting both tabs in place. I cut out some of that struggle. As usual, pay attention to how things are oriented. For a lot of these pouches, the instructions have one end highlighted, which seems to correspond with the flap that is engraved on the inside. Make sure you are putting things on the right way. This may seem a bit complicated, but it really came together relatively easily. I didn't edit much out. I had trouble lining up the tabs to add the foot when I realized I had put 5 on upside down. The colored side faces down. I got a little overconfident and didn't fold this in the right order. Oops, I put that on upside down. Some of these bits that wrap around didn't seem long enough, and I had to struggle a bit to get the tabs in the slots. In the end, I think the length was fine, it just wasn't easy. Sometimes you just gotta get your fingers in there and shape things. And that brings us to the end of part 1 of the Deadpool build. It's going to be a 2-part video. I'm a little surprised myself. It seemed to be such an easy build that I'm surprised it's taken up as much footage as it did, but maybe that's because I just got through with a rather difficult Hogwarts castle previously. Anyway, we're going to leave it at that. We've got half the model done. We're going to come back in part 2 and do the top half, so look out for that video. Should be coming fairly soon. As always, thank you for watching, and keep on keeping on.